Good evening, everybody. The good news and the bad news. The bad news, Ben and Rez couldn't be with us tonight, so we're going to have to go with the Alan's hour again. So it's going to be an hour of Alan just talking about Tottenham tonight. So
life. How's life?
Millions. I'll leave you in Alan's capable hands.
How's life? Good evening, gents. I hope you're all having a good week. And I hope you all enjoy the weekend when we beat the Aston Villa 4-0. I'm glad to be back on screen after having a little break. And if them lads don't hurry up and come back, I'm clearing off. Bye.
Only joking. Let's bring him in. Rez is, I can see in the back room here, he's not actually sat on his desk in his chair, so we'll wait until he gets back. Ben, hello. How you going, mate? Thanks for joining us tonight.
All good, mate. I had to find something inside so strong to come on tonight. No, I'm joking. Pleasure to be here, guys. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on tonight. Barry,
I'll give you the word of response there.
The word of response for what? The song? I'm not doing a song tonight. Maybe the next challenge we'll do a bit of a song, or maybe at the weekend. I don't know. We shall see. Everyone's in the comments. They're really looking forward to Rez, and he's not here. Here he is.
Rez in hiding. Rez in ruins. Rez in hiding.
Show yourself.
Hey there, Rez.
Hello.
Good. Thank you.
Would you like to give some love to your adoring fans first? Let's have a look at the chat. Eugene's in the chat. Everyone's here to see Rez in ruins. Cody's straight to the chase. Eat the chips. Not the dust. Put it in your eye. Walter White is going to be in serious pain.
At least he said I. Some people have been saying other parts of my anatomy.
Oh dear. Who else would have done that? Eugene's illustrious cohort, Jamie's in as well.
Got my milk ready for afterwards.
The man of the incredible pun himself, Jamie. Mrs. Iggy is in.
Yeah,
hello, Stacey. I knew you wouldn't miss this one. Rez, you did a bet for 500, eh?
I think this is challenge enough. No, I think it's only fair that one of you other guys does the challenge for the 500.
Was that Janine?
You say? I think
Alan was that.
Yes, I'm fine.
Push him over the cliff again. Push him over the cliff. Jesus, what's going on there?
I don't know. I really don't know. Was that you?
No, something banged upstairs and my wife shouted out, "Are you all right?" to my daughter.
Oh dear. Is that right? I didn't even check. Are we only 6 away from 500, are we, Rez?
Are we really that close?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a lie from Mrs. Sophie. So
we're still 40. We're still 46 away from 500.
Oh dear, getting excited there. Got Mark in the house as well. Let's just go for a few of these. See, no one's interested, or me and Ben. It's just they want to get down to Rez, get Rez on.
Yeah. I want to see this hot chip. You don't need the milk, Rez. You don't need it.
You have the milk first, are you, Rez?
No. I'm not allowed. The milk, as you see, is currently untouched. I can only drink that after 5-minute afterburn. I've also got myself a Muller corner for the yogurt.
Have you got a Tuesday and a timer for the 5 minutes, by the way?
I'll do it because I don't trust you guys.
I don't believe you. You don't trust us. Why not?
4 hours later, it's like, surely I can have some milk now.
1 minute, Reg. 1 minute, just to go. 1 more minute.
No, I'll do the thing. I'll do the timer and everything, and it will be ready to go. Don't you worry.
Danny wants to know where your bib is. Danny wants to know where your bib is.
I don't.
Right.
I wouldn't demean myself.
Rez, we need a nice close up when you're eating the chip.
Oh well,
yeah,
thankfully,
we do it close up.
because obviously, Ben, although you are the most special, you're not the only special guest that we've got on tonight. Because last week I was telling people about the work that I was doing, and my friend is now complete. So I thought this is a good time to introduce
You're not going to get your knob out, are you?
to the viewers. No, my Terminator is done. Oh,
You've
there
broken
goes
your
my
camera, mate.
You've broken your camera, but
it keeps doing that. It's very weird. There he is in all his glory. Where's the remote control? Hold on a sec. He also does. He doesn't. Oh, his eyes aren't lighting up. But yeah, his eyes are supposed to light up and stuff. But yeah, he's all done. So he's the other special guest as well. So we've got today. I can bring my camera around properly now.
How long does it take you to build that?
About 4 days.
Okay.
About sort of 20 hours work.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. He still needs to just adjusting and stuff like that. But yeah, all done. So yeah, but yeah, I've got my timer as well. So you guys are not going to screw me over.
Rez, I'm doing the timing. What are you talking about? Why we wouldn't screw you over?
Do the timer. Of all the people that say, who would you just choose at the bottom of the list? It would be you, right? I know what you're like.
Sorry, does that say it says 15? Oh, sorry, not 15 minutes.
Yeah, you'd put 5 hours in there.
5 minutes. There you go.
Guys, I've got to be the responsible host here. We've only got Ben for about an hour, so we're going to do Ben's White Hart Memory Lane tonight. So we need to press on with. So enough of your bullshit and nonsense. We need to get to the important thing here. You're going to leave, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So we might tease the audience in by doing the hot chip halfway through White Hart Memory Lane, or we might do it afterwards. You never know. Carry on watching to find out.
Exactly.
Are you ready, Ben? Are you ready?
Chip. I need to be here for that hot chip.
You'll be here for that. Don't you worry. You'll be here for that. So White Hart Memory Lane. So we just ask a few questions, find out why you became a Spurs fan, Ben, and you're fairly self-explanatory. The questions will pop up on screen, and we're interested to find out your answers. Why Spurs? How did you become a Spurs fan?
It's a family thing, really. My dad, big Spurs fan. Obviously, he drummed it in for me for a young age. I didn't really have a choice in the matter, to be honest, who I could support. He took me to Spurs when I was 7 years old, I believe. We played against Man City at White Hart Lane. We beat them 1-0, Chris Armstrong scoring the goal on the day. And I just remember, I don't remember much from the game, but what I did remember is the kind of atmosphere and Spurs fans singing all game. I mean, it's not like now where you just have spits and spurts of singing. Like back then, it was just literally just singing the whole game. And that's what really grabbed me, was kind of all the songs. I remember coming back in the car afterwards. I was with all my uncles and my dad, and I was just singing Spurs songs all the way back home. And after that, that was it. Like, you just couldn't get me away from Spurs, and you couldn't stop me talking from Spurs. You couldn't stop me watching Spurs and stuff like that. So that was it from literally when I was 7 years old.
Do you remember whereabouts you were sitting in the stands?
I remember it was on the side. I think it must have been the East stand. I was sitting on the first side, shelf side. So
yeah. That's where I was. Do you remember, or what I remember most about the day is going up the stairs and then seeing that green just hits you the first time you see that green.
Yeah. It's just illuminating, isn't it? It just grabs you from the second that you see it, and it's just like, wow.
This is
the jaw-dropping moment, isn't it?
Yeah, it absolutely is. Can you remember your first Spurs shirt? Did you have a name and number on it?
Ooh, it must have been from that season, to be honest. It must have been from that season. I remember the first shirt I actually got a name on the back was when I was in school. It was the old had Thompson on it. I'm not sure what year it was. The Thompson shirt, the Kappa shirt, and I had Davies 29 on the back. That was the first one I had. That was the first shirt I had a number on the back. But I had many shirts before that, but I never actually got a number on the back. But that was the first one. I always loved Simon Davies because he had the long sleeves. So I was like, I must get the long sleeves. And I even cut holes in it so I could put my thumbs through it and like run like Simon Davies. Like punch I love Simon Davies. I thought he was quality, and then he obviously fell off. But at the first few games for us, or the first few years, he was brilliant. I thought
he was. I don't know if this is going to be the same answer though. Your first Spurs hero as an impressionable youth. It wasn't Chris Armstrong, was it?
It wasn't. No. My first Spurs hero was David Ginola. And he's still my first hero now. I mean, he's still a hero now to me. I mean, I got the pleasure to meet him not long ago. Some of you guys were there that night, and it was just an unbelievable experience. But just seeing him run down the wing, that left-hand side, unplayable at times, the magical moments that he used to give us in a team, really full of shit, to be honest. But David Ginola was just like a shining light in that team, and I loved everything he stood for. I used to be mesmerized by him on the pitch, and even watching his L'Oreal adverts and stuff like that. I thought he was just something else. And Bob in the comments saying, was he worth it? 100% he was worth it. And he was my first Tottenham idol for sure.
But were you trembling when you met him? I think I would have been. You know,
yeah, I was a little bit. Yeah. The first thing I said to him, I walked up to him and I was like, I just wanted to tell you, I've been wanting to tell you this ever since I was a kid. I still haven't forgiven George Graham for letting you go that time.
Yeah. He's a legend. He's probably one of my favourites as well. Me. Did you get tongue-tied when you were talking to him, or was it flowing out nicely?
Yeah, I did get a bit tongue-tied and a bit starstruck, but once you speak to him for a little bit, it was all right. But the first few moments was just like, what to say?
Did you have that moment when it was flowing nicely, and then you suddenly had that realization halfway through a sentence? I'm talking to David Ginola. Yeah. I'm talking to David Ginola.
The funny thing about it was he had this song at Spurs, and not many fans knew it. It was kind of like a pub song, not like a kind of song that they sung on the stands. And I didn't know he knew it. And we were all gathered there for a picture, and he started singing it. He literally started singing it, and nobody else knew it apart from me, which I thought was mad. And the song, I don't know if you knew it. If you know, I don't know if I can sing it on here, but I'll sing it anyway. It was a prospect is a slapper. She wears a wonder bra, and when she's shagging Beckham, she thinks of Ginola. And he was singing that on the night.
Brilliant. Who's the guy?
Higher standards.
It was the guy a few years ago that made up his own song. He was in an advert, wasn't he? And we never actually used to sing that song for him. And he's like just trying to make it was like a computer game or something. He's tried singing his own song. It was only in like the last 5 or 6 years, some really rubbish player that we didn't have a song for. And he tried making up his own.
It sounds like something that Jamie Redknapp would do.
Yeah. That clown. Next question. Your favourite away day? What's your like when you think of an away trip? What pops into your head as your favourite away day? And any funny stories?
Mate, I've had so many. I mean, the first away game I went to was Grimsby away in the cup under Martin Yole. We lost that game 1-0, and like my mate Ricky, he called me up that day and he's like, "Look, you're coming with me, no questions asked." So I went with him, and I'm walking out to get a beer to get ready for extra time, because obviously the second round of the League Cup goes straight to extra time. And as I'm walking out to get the beer, Grimsby score, and I'm just like, oh days. But that was it. Like after that game, I mean, I rarely missed an away game for many years after that, and it was the atmosphere that really grabbed me again. That's what kind of like pulled me into Spurs, was the camaraderie in the stands, the sense of belonging, the way the fans are to the team. I mean, even in those days, like under Martin Yole, the atmosphere was incredible. Even if the team are playing bad, the fans would carry on singing. That was a sense of like, that was the start of something special, wasn't it? That Martin Yole era. And you could really sense that in the stands. But in terms of like my favorite away day, I always go back to that Man City game when Crouch scored at the Etihad. I mean, that day was just, it was unbelievable. I got to Manchester really early. We were in a pub owned by a Spurs fan that day, and he was just, the drinks were flowing, and we got to the stadium, and it was such a nervy game. And when Crouch scored, I must have fell down about 6 rows. I had bruises and cuts all over my legs, my body. And after the game, we were all outside the stadium. We got rushed out of the stadium, and we got locked in by the gates. They wouldn't let us out, and Man City fans were throwing bricks and sticks over at us, trying to cause some aggro, but we didn't care. We were just celebrating. We were outside in that bit for about an hour and a half, and we're just non-stop singing, non-stop celebrations. Obviously, first time we made Champions League, it was really, really a moment. Another one that sticks in my mind is West Ham 4-3. I was there that day.
Yeah, you're there, right? Nice.
Yeah, unbelievable. So that day was a Jewish festival called Purim, and on Purim, what they do is you have to dress in fancy dress. So what I did was I had my hair coloured in blue and white, and it's my first time going to Upton Park, and I'm in the car with my grandpa, my brother, and my uncle. And my uncle's a West Ham fan, and he's telling me on the way there, like, and Sim also had his hair coloured, by the way, and he's going to us, look, I really don't think it's a good idea, you guys coming to Upton Park with your hair coloured and stuff like that. And I'm like, nah, it will be fine. Don't you worry about it. And obviously, we get into the stadium, it's fine. I'll put my hood up. And after and obviously the game happens. After the game, I must have shat myself. I mean, you had West Ham fans literally vying for Tottenham blood in the street.
Yeah.
Like it was very, very intense atmosphere after that. And
as you had your hood up with red and blue and white dripping down your
exactly, you know what I mean?
Hiding that, is there?
I never got caught out, but yeah, I'll tell you, I didn't do that again after that. But that was my first time at Upton Park. The Emirates at 4-4, I was there that game, and I walked out just before Jermaine Gina scored. And as Gina scores, I think Gina scored to make it 4-3 or 4-2, I can't remember. So he scored, and I hear the cheer from the fans. So I try to get back in. The steward's like, "No, you're not coming back in." So I literally I pushed him out of the way and just ran back in, and he didn't catch me. And I tell you, I did not regret it. I did not regret it, because that Aaron Lennon goal sent us into absolute carnage, and there was not many fans left in there. Not many fans, and I didn't regret that. Another great moment was when we beat Arsenal 3-2 at the Emirates, when Yunus Kabul scored that goal.
Oh,
I had so many bad memories at the Emirates. So it was a 12:30 kickoff on a Saturday, and I said, look, I'm not even going to take my phone to this game, because I know I'm just going to be getting abuse from the Gooners after the game. So you know what? I said, I'm not taking my phone. I'm just going to drive to the game. And I was late anyway. So I found this random car park by the Emirates, and it was like someone's house that they charged people to park in. There was about 5 or 6 spaces in this car park. And I was the last one in because I was running a bit late. So he goes to me. He didn't know I was a Spurs fan or anything. So he goes to me, "Are you going to be back early? Because you need to be early because you're the first one in. You're blocking all the cars in." So I was like, yeah, no worries. I'll be back early. I thought we were probably going to lose. So I would have got out there. Yeah, we were 2-0 down at half time. Put it back to 3-2. Obviously, I stayed in the stadium for quite a while after.
No one could get out. All the Arsenal fans were booked in.
Yeah. So I'm walking back to the car, and I didn't even know where the car was. I completely lost my bearings, and it took me ages to find where the car was. And I was running late anyway. Get back to the car. These 6 cars behind me, all standing outside the car, all looking so pissed off. I get back to the car and I look at all these guys, and I was just like, "Good game, lads." And I just got in my car and quickly zoomed off. And that was brilliant.
I won. I got my PlayStation 3 that day. Because we were 2-0 down at half time. That's how I know, because I put a bet on it. 32 to 1 for us to win. I thought to myself, we can't play any worse second half. The odds popped up on my phone, 32 to 1. I was like, I'm having a tenner on that. So when Kabul scored that header, it was like double bubble for me. I was like, come on. And I had a nervy wait to try and see the game that we'd actually get the win. So yeah, I got PlayStation 3 out of that as well as a good memory.
Brilliant.
Next question.
I can keep going, but I don't know if you want me to keep going. I can keep going.
Seamless link. Look, have you been on the
European ones?
Yeah. I can tell you a good one about Milan when we won 1-0 and Crouch scored. So I was doing like a foundation year at uni at that time. So you're not actually in uni proper. So it's a bit like school a bit, but I was like still staying in Birmingham at the time. And anyway, had loads of work to do. I'd already been in a bit of trouble because I've been going out a bit and not doing too much work. And they basically gave me one last chance. And And I said to my mum, "Look, mum, I'm going to Milan to watch Spurs. I can't miss this game. I missed the 4-3, and I was like, I wasn't going to miss this one. I'd already been to Bremen that year, and I said to my mum, look, I'm going. She's like, look, I don't mind you going, but did you okay it with uni and stuff like that? So I was like, yeah, no worries. They're fine. They know I'm going. I okayed it with them, and I had a really big deadline that day, literally that day. So obviously, I didn't keep the deadline. I didn't even do the work, I don't think, but I went out to Milan. Actually, I flew to Amsterdam, got a connecting flight from Amsterdam to Milan, then back from Milan, back to Amsterdam and back to London, just because it was much cheaper. And obviously you got the festivities in Amsterdam as well. So obviously it's a mad trip, non-stop rain. I was drenched to head to toe. We win the game. Unbelievable that fight with Joe Jordan and Gattuso and Lennon absolutely rinsing. I think it was Yepes at the back for Milan and squared it to Crouch and 1-0. One of the greatest nights of Spurs' recent history. I get back to London. My mum calls me up. She's like, Ben, I'm so upset with you. Uni called me. They were asking me where you were and all this kind of stuff. And it ended up to it, and I basically got kicked out because of that.
Oh,
but I wouldn't have changed it for the world.
Did she say the infamous question? Well, I hope it was worth it. Well, yeah, it was.
And it was. It was.
That's proper parental disappointment. Well, I hope you're happy now.
It reminds me of the England fight when we beat Germany 5-1. You know. Would have been before 2090. What was it? 98 maybe. So I was supposed to go to a wedding with my girlfriend at the time, and I said to her all along, I'm not going to the wedding. And she thought I was joking. She's like, I said it's England v Germany that day. She goes, ha ha ha. She thought I was joking, and it got nearer and nearer. And she's like, what suit you wearing? I said, look, I've told you I'm not going. It's England v Germany. It's like it's a big game kind of thing. So now she pretty much dumped me, and she said the infamous words, Ben, well, I hope it was worth it. And I was like, yeah, it was actually, yeah. All the pain and all the suffering for the Germans would keep beating us over the years, and we finally got to hand it to them 5-1. I said, yeah, it was actually, yeah. She forgave me. The moral of the story, it was, not happy ever after, but she forgave me. We got back together afterwards. Ben's life, yeah.
In terms of other European away days, obviously I went to Bremen. Bremen was my first one, and then Milan was my second. After that, I was at Lyon when Dembele scored in the last minute to send us through in the Europa League. I went to Fiorentina twice, also in the Europa League. I think that was the only Europa League ones I did. And then since starting the channel, I've been to like more or less the majority of the Champions League away games since then.
And also you're at the Ajax one, mate, for the infamous video.
Mate, that Ajax one. It was just, I'm getting shivers up my spine just thinking about it now. I mean, I'm in the stadium, absolutely mental. Like, it wasn't even that good atmosphere because it was so nervy. And it's just like, oh my God, Spurs could be in the Champions League final here. Obviously, we go 1-0 down and whatever, and we get it back in the end. And it doesn't really like compute in your mind what's actually happened. Because obviously you go back to the square, Amsterdam Dam Square afterwards, and you're celebrating. We were there till like 2-3 in the morning. I got back to the hotel, and they had like a little living room in the hotel where you can hang out, and the highlights were playing in that room. So me and Ashley sat down, and I almost started like bursting out into tears, thinking, did that actually happen? Are Spurs actually in the Champions League final? Like, what the hell is going on here? We came back from that deficit to win in a European, like, these things are unheard of for Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. And that actually happened that night. And it was just like, that was the only time I've actually like had tears or been close to tears watching Tottenham play. And it was just, we
were saying the other day, Ben, some of our most glorious nights in Europe have all been defeats, haven't they? Inter Milan, Ajax, Man City, even of recent years. Glorious nights where we always end up losing, but still glorious to us.
Do you remember the Juventus one? Oh my God, that one was
yeah.
Yeah, we were all together. Ellie put a thing out. What was your best celebration? That we were all together, weren't we? There was me, you, Gaza, Needs, and Dovers, and a few others in the pub. There's a video on Facebook where we were just sat there, and then the next thing you know, you see us all stand up, and then it all goes off in the pub. I lost my shoe for about 10 minutes. I'm walking around. I'm literally walking around. I'll find the video. I'll send it to you. But literally walking around going, I've lost my shoe. I don't care. We won. This is incredible. It was just like insane.
The best thing was we didn't know he had CCTV in the pub. He'd only just put it in about a week before, so it was like all completely natural reactions and stuff. It wasn't like anyone was hammering up to the camera or anything. It was just to capture that moment naturally. It was really good. Like you said, Ben, I just put my head in my hands and started pretty much crying. I had tears in my eyes. I was like, pfft. My brother. I always remember my brother on the Man City game. We watched it around my house, and he's punching the wall when Sterling's goal went. And he's like, "Why does it always happen to us? Why Tottenham?" Because he'd made the mistake of saying literally a minute before, "I think we're going to hold on. I think we're going to hold on." Then Sterling went for it and scored that goal, which was obviously disallowed for offside. He's like punching the wall, going, "Why do you always do this to us, Tottenham? Why do you always fucking do this to me?" So I was reminded of that. Never give up, Davos. Never give up. Who is your
Never surrender.
Yeah. Who's your favourite all-time Spurs player?
Ooh, favourite all-time Spurs. I mean, obviously Ginola's up there. After that, I mean, Jermaine Defoe was a big hero of mine at the time. I thought, like me and Sim, when we used to kind of play football in the garden and pretend to be Spurs players, he was always Robbie Keane and I was always Jermaine Defoe. And apart from when I was forcing him to go in goal, because for a time he actually thought he was a goalkeeper because I forced him to go in goal so many times. But Jermaine Defoe, I mean, it's hard to move past Harry Kane, isn't it? Just because of what a legend at the club he is. He's going to beat Jimmy Greaves' record latest time next season, I believe. Gareth Bale also was a massive, massive hero of mine when he was at Spurs. So it's hard to nail down one, but I would have to say between Kane, Bale, and Ginola.
During the first part of lockdown, when everyone was doing their list of players that made you fall in love with Spurs and stuff, I put Harry Kane on there, and all my friends were like, "Harry Kane, how does he make you fall in love with Spurs?" I said he kind of made me fall in love with Spurs again when there was so much disconnect around the club for him to come through the ranks and to achieve everything he'd done. And he kind of made me fall back in love. It was obviously the Poch era because there was obviously a massive disconnect one day before Poch came in, and I was just, I think a lot of people were feeling a bit disconnected from the club, and they didn't relate to any of the players. They didn't like any of the players, did we? So Kane kind of relit my, Spurs flame a little bit. Obviously, we still watched and everything, but he made me fall back in love with them.
Just want to address this question as well in the comments, by the way, from Sophie Prince says, would you still marry your fiance if she supported Arsenal? Well, I don't think I'd ever met her if she would have supported Arsenal because we met at Barcelona away in the square in the Champions League run. So I guess we would never have met if she was an Arsenal fan.
There you go.
We've got a few questions that from the chat. We'll get to those. I've started them. We'll get to those at the end.
Okay. Cool. Your favourite current player, I guess, Harry Kane then.
Yeah, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son with a very close second. I mean, I love Sonny, and for him to creep up on Salah like he's doing in the Golden Boot is actually mind-boggling because a lot of people for a lot of the season were saying Son's not having a good season. I mean, I was saying it as well a bit that he looked a bit off form, but he's got the most goals he's ever got in a Spurs shirt currently. So
not only that, Ben, but he became the 10th highest Tottenham goal scorer of all time the other day, didn't he? So he's in the top 10 list now.
Exactly.
He's made it up there, quietly made it up there.
Yeah, he's confirmed as a club legend already.
Yeah, first goal at the stadium, first Champions League goal at the stadium. He's a definite legend, isn't he? And I liked it last year when he said that before the North London derby they used to show the clips, in the build up to the game, and Sonny said he used to sit in the dressing room and think, I'm not on there today, I'm going to make myself on there. And this is when he scored that perler from range, wasn't it? And then afterwards he said, now I'm going to be on there. Whenever they do the highlights building up to the game, like you guys said, I'm going to be on there. Your most disliked all-time Spurs player apart from Arsene himself? Was there anyone for whether it's logical or illogical, whether you just didn't like him for some reason?
Hossam Ghali, for sure. Hossam Ghali, for sure. He's the only Spurs player I think I've ever booed in a Spurs shirt at the stadium. The way he threw his shirt at Martin Yole, unforgivable, and haven't forgiven him since. I never wanted to see him in a Spurs shirt after that. Luckily, I don't think we ever got to see him in a Spurs shirt after that.
They went to put him on, didn't they, once, and the crowd booed so much that he changed his mind.
Exactly, and quite rightly so. You don't throw your shirt like that at the manager, especially a manager like Martinez, who I had so much time for. I love that man so much, and you don't throw the shirt down under any circumstances. So for me, it's always going to be Hossam Ghali.
Rez, would you like to remind the viewing millions of Martin Yole's brothers' names?
Yes, his brother's names are Dick and Cock. Actually, it's Dick and Cornelius, but Cornelius is commonly shortened to Cock in the Netherlands. So, which Danny Kyriaku's young lady would probably confirm. So, if Danny's in the chat, he can confirm with her and then confirm for us. If that's
watch Barry just jump back on. Did someone say Danny Kyriaki? What? Did someone say Danny Kyriaki?
I heard. It's like Daigle and Levy, right? You mentioned Levy, and Daigle's just there. So
quiz. It used to be quiz, didn't it? When you mentioned the quiz, suddenly Daigle would appear.
Well, you know how when Commissioner Gordon needs to get Batman somewhere really quickly on the bat signal. If you need Nick to get somewhere really quickly, just tell him that Danny's going to be there.
Humping his leg like a dung beetle.
He'll be there.
Yeah, but you also need to tell Danny to be there 2 hours before, otherwise he won't be there.
But in this scenario, we don't actually need Danny there. We just need to get you to somewhere. So whether or not Danny's actually there or not, it's about getting you there quickly. Okay. So it's a lie that you can tell. You know. Yeah. I mean, because you say Danny will be somewhere, and you know, we don't know. Danny's a bit like Schrodinger's cat. You know, you don't know whether or not he is going to be there or not.
I mean, I'm worried for you, Rez, on Saturday, right? Because you're picking him up, so we'll see you at the stadium. I'm guessing, you know. Because...
about 4 p.m. Yeah,
we'll see you start calling him Tangy because we don't know if he's going to turn up or not.
Tangai and Bunny. Most disliked current player, Ben. Have you got anyone that you really don't like?
Am I allowed to say Ndombele?
I think we need to put except Ndombele in that because it's
except Ndombele, go on in.
Except Ndombele.
Yeah.
Lo Celso.
The guys will know I can't stand Emerson. Like when I heard that Doherty was injured the other day, I said, lump on Arsenal, they're going to get top 4 now. We to watch that clown bumbling up and down on the right hand side. Lump on Arsenal, it's gone now. Top 4's gone. You put it in there, apart from GLC and Tanguy.
If you're going to go apart from then, I'll probably go Harry Winks or Davinson Sanchez, but I'll sway with Harry Winks.
Yeah, Davinson Sanchez. I can't stand Davinson Sanchez. It's just like a calamity waiting to happen, isn't he? Like Bambi on ice. His feet don't work properly, do they? His brain doesn't work, but his feet, it's just...
Bambi on ice is the perfect way to...
Bobby K getting raw. Bloody hell.
Most disliked opposition player, past and present.
Ooh. Okay. Got to think about this one. Past... I'd have to go with Thierry Henry, unfortunately.
Yes.
I know what a good player he was, and I know, look, in my opinion, he is the greatest Premier League player to date. But the way he used to hate us, the way he used to celebrate it against us, the way he just pulled through every single time against us. You know, that time in the last North London derby at Highbury. He comes on with 15 minutes to go and you just knew he was going to score, and he did. And I just hated his persona against us, and it just wound me up every time just because I knew he was so good as well.
And he was really smug with it as well. That's the other thing, is that sort of self-satisfaction just really,
Well, you can resign yourself on the fact that he tainted his whole career by being a cheat against Ireland and knocking Ireland out of the World Cup. So he's a cheating CUN next Tuesday, isn't he? So he tainted his whole career.
Next Tuesday, definitely. Him and Perez.
I used to hate Perez. And Reyes as well. I know he's passed away now, but he used to do my nut in Reyes. Every time anyone went near him, he'd just go down, wouldn't he, Reyes?
Yeah, that's a good one. Jack Wilshere as well.
Wilshere,
I hate him. But those three, probably Perez, Wilshere and Henry. Probably
John Terry and Ashley Cole, they're up there as
Oh,
well.
him as well. John Terry's probably number one,
Bob,
actually.
Bob also puts John Terry. Yeah.
I always remember when John Terry goes, "Oh, the Tottenham fans, they always boo me," but it never puts me off. It never gets to me. They're just wasting their breath. I was like, hang on a minute, you got sent off last year because we were all giving you shit about your mum and the pound coin and whatnot, and then he hacked someone and got sent off.
Yeah.
So we clearly did
Additionally, Mr. Terry, if you don't care, why are you talking about it?
Talking about it, yeah. John Terry, your mum's a brass. Lick your ass.
Go on, sorry.
Present player, yeah. Who do you hate at the moment? Who's filling your hate hole?
Present. You see, I'm trying to think like the Arsenal squad. Like, who do I hate so much? I don't really hate any of them because they're just so shit. It's happy to see. Happy to see. I mean, I don't like Granit Xhaka. I think he's a bit of a tosser, to be honest.
Can I suggest a player? Chelsea centre back, Rudiger.
Yeah. I mean, the way he called racism against us Spurs fans, absolutely disgraceful. But I'll probably go for Granit Xhaka, to be honest.
Mason Mount for me because of that same smugness that Henry has. I can't stand his self-satisfied little face. I
can't stand Mo Salah. He's a cheating bastard. I don't like Mo Salah at all. I don't mind Liverpool too much. Well, that's a lie. Regular viewers will know I hate Liverpool, but I don't like Mo Salah at all. It's part of the reason why.
I can't ever say that I hate another team club over Arsenal or Chelsea because I just hate them so much.
Yeah. If you could go back in time and experience one famous game from Spurs history, which one would it be?
I have no doubt in my mind what it would be, and that would be the last game at White Hart Lane. Absolutely, the last game at White Hart Lane. That was a special, special, special day, and I wish I could just go back and be in that stadium one last time. Absolutely, just being at that game, the atmosphere shivers up my spine, and I've got a bone to pick about that game as well, because we were sitting in the North Upper, and I really wanted to get on the pitch when all the fans were getting on the pitch and blah blah blah, and obviously we couldn't because we were in the upper stand, the upper tier. But I was saying to my brother, because people were going down and finding ways to get through, and I was like, "Come on, Tim, let's go." People were even going out of the out of the ground and like forcing their way in of the lower tier entrances. And I really wanted to do it, and my brother was like, "Oh, but we might not get back in," and all this kind of stuff. And by the time I kind of persuaded my brother to let's go and do it, they kind of blocked all the entrances and stuff like that, so it was impossible to do. So if I could go back to that day, I'll definitely be getting on that pitch. And that stadium was special, very special.
I will say, as I was leaving the last time that day, I remember thinking to myself, I don't like the feels of this. This is not good. I just got a genuine, shivers down my spine. I said, I don't like what's happening here. Just leaving for the last time, I knew it was never going to be kind of feel the same again, kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Like, it hasn't felt the same again.
No, it hasn't. No.
I reckon
it feels like we're a completely different club now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
I reckon. Obviously, it is for the obvious reason. But I think what's needed is some form of success, and then it will start to feel like home. It won't be the same as White Hart Lane because that place was something special, but it will have its own thing. It's like, a relationship. You have love for one person, the next person that you might split from them and go with someone else, and that person you'll love as well. It won't be the same way that you love them, but it will still be love. It's just a case of we need to get the club back to where it's supposed to be, which is a perennial challenger. If we start winning a few things, then I think
you got it right the first time.
Of course. But I mean, if we win something, I think that the new stadium will feel more homely and more welcoming. But until that happens, I think there's going to be that coldness of not being home yet, properly. It will take time, but I think so. I think it can.
The only slight thing about the last day was that Gaza and Steve Perriman weren't there. Steve Perriman had Exeter in a playoff, weren't they? So he had to go and look after that. And then Gaza didn't feel well enough to attend, did he? So it's just a little shame that those two guys weren't there, but it was a brilliant day.
Definitely. But what I was saying on the new stadium, Rez, like, I do feel like it does feel like home when you walk in, like not the concourses and stuff like that, but when you actually get inside the ground, it does look like White Hart Lane on steroid. But when you're in like the concourses and stuff, like when you're going to any other concourse in the Premier League, there's like, especially White Hart Lane, there's that ruggedness, there's that like rough around the edges, a bit on edge. But when you're in the Spurs, it just feels like you're in a Shoreditch bar or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, for me, when I go into the bowl, I mean, you get that thrill of because that what you guys were describing earlier about going up the steps and seeing the green for the first time. I get that every time I go into the stadium. Yeah. I get that every time I go into any stadium, if I'm being honest, because that visual I absolutely adore. But I get a thrill from it. But when I'm in my seat, it might be because I've only been a season ticket holder this season, so I still don't. It's not as comfortable. It's not lived in enough yet. I think I've not experienced it enough, maybe for it not to be home. But I also think there's that edginess that we've all got at the moment because the sort of club's in that state of transition and change and stuff. And I think that takes away from it. We're not comfortable in our skin yet. Almost for me, that's the experience I get. Obviously everyone will be different, so yeah, but I think it'll come eventually. It will become part of the new norm. It's just not there yet.
You know what, I think there's also an element of in singing, they say artists and bands, it's more difficult to sing in front of your friends than complete strangers. So in the old stadium we kind of used to sit, I didn't sit next to my mates because we kind of got season tickets at different times, so we were in different parts of the stadium. We never managed to get next to each other, so you were still around strangers who had been there, a long time before you, and you kind of respected. I was in the shelf side, Gaza was in the park lane, so you kind of, I don't know. Sometimes it's difficult to release yourself and let yourself go in front of strangers, rather than in front of your mates and singing louder. And I don't know. For me, sometimes if you sat there with your mates, it's more difficult to just sometimes sing and shout and get all girly. I know you get the
nothing a couple of beers can't fix.
Yeah. Sadly not for me, Ben. I don't drink anymore, so Alan's dipped out and he's coming back in again. Here he goes.
I wonder why. Was it to do with this question, Alan? You were a bit worried about what the answer might be.
No, I didn't hear the question. I went missing for a second.
He comes, he goes.
Yeah, just does what he wants. Yeah, FA Cup semi-final. What year? I can't read up. I haven't got my glasses on. Alan, what year is that?
Read that year for us, please. That Bob Spurs.
It looks like 9L. Is that right? Semi-final 9L.
So I can't see.
1990.
I can't see.
Is that a one? Is that a one?
You gone, LJ?
Yeah, I was having a coughing fit. Sorry.
Oh,
your favourite era and team, Ben? What? When you think back, who did you enjoy going to see most? Which era and team?
I think the best is obviously the peak Pochettino team. That's the best. But my favourite, well, there's three teams, isn't it? There's the peak Martin Jol team, the peak Harry Redknapp team, and the peak Pochettino team. So purely my favourite has got to be the peak Martin Jol team, because that's when I first started going to away games. I thought the atmosphere was the best around that time, and it really resonates with me, that team. But I'm actually going to side a bit with the Harry Redknapp team, with Bale flying down that left, Van der Vaart. What a team that was, and I think it's highly underrated. To be honest, I can pick any of those three teams. It's hard to pick them. Pochettino the best. Atmosphere was the best in the Martin Jol days, but Redknapp days is the first time we got Champions League, and I have such good memories of that day. So it's so hard for me to pick between the three.
Yeah.
I'm going to side with the Martin Jol days, just because that's like when I started going to, consistent home and away, week in, week out, and the atmosphere was just to die for. And that was like the first time I felt as a Spurs fan we're actually going places.
Yeah, it was a catalyst, wasn't he?
Mm.
It really was. Which player got you most excited when you first heard the news of their signing?
Ooh, I think Edgar Davids was definitely one. I was so excited when we were signing Edgar Davids. Van der Vaart, obviously, were very excited. I remember when we signed Luka Modric, the Spurs announced it at like 11 o'clock at night or something, midnight, something crazy on. And those days, you didn't have Twitter, you didn't have social media and all that stuff. You had to keep refreshing the website to see if Spurs had signed someone. So me and my brother, me and Sim, we had rooms back to back on each other. It was like a loft. So you know those kind of windows that you have in the loft where it's like slanted and you have to push them open.
Yeah.
So our windows are right next to each other. So I poked my head out the window and I was like, Sim, and he pokes his head out the window. I was like, we just signed Luka Modric, and that was a good moment. But I think the most excited I've been, was Rebrov, to be honest. When we signed Rebrov, I was just like, wow, how are we signing Rebrov? Obviously, it didn't turn out to kind of how we wanted it to, but I think I'll probably put Rebrov as number one there because I was just super excited.
I felt sorry for him, Sim, because that season, or the season after when we played in the cup final, he played in every game leading up to the final, and then he got dropped for the final. Hoddle dropped him, and I thought he was joking.
That's never happened since, has it?
Hoddle can do what he wants, Alan. Calm down. He'll be thrown off.
I don't care.
Which part? Test him out. Test his metal.
Oh God.
Ben, which part of the old White Hart Lane did you used to sit in or prefer to sit in if you had a choice, if you used to float around?
So before I had a season ticket, I used to just sit wherever I could get a ticket. Mainly in the Park Lane. I was Park Lane lower when I didn't have a season ticket, and I loved it there. That was probably my favourite part of the stadium. But I spent a bit of time shelf side lower. I remember I sat there when we drew with Arsenal 2-2. When Kyle Walker scored that brilliant goal against Arsenal. I can't remember what the score was that day. I was there sitting there then. My first year of a season ticket holder, I sat Park Lane upper, but I was just on my own. So I was just like renting a season ticket off someone. I sat there for a year. And then the year after that is when I got my first season ticket in my real name, and I was with Grandpa. And we sat in the Paxton upper for about 10, 11 years or something like that. But I love the Park Lane lower. Absolutely loved it. I was in the Park Lane lower when we beat Arsenal 5-1. And you can imagine the scenes in the Park Lane lower that night. Just unbelievable. And yeah, I'd have to say South Lower was my favourite place to sit.
I never made it round there. I my first season ticket was in the East Stand behind a big post. The restricted view seats. Then I made it actually into the shelf side. And I kept applying to go into Park Lane with my mate Gaza, but they weren't accepting transfers as in the countdown to us moving stadiums and stuff. So I never made it there. So I was in the shelf side.
I used to prefer the shelf when it weren't sitting. When it went all seater, the shelf was where I used to go as a kid.
Yeah.
Up there.
Did you ever get pissed on, Alan? Everyone says I used to get pissed on because I couldn't move and stuff.
No.
He was the one doing the pissing.
Did you ever sit in the enclosure?
My mate used to go to the toilet and miss goals like no one's business. I used to just piss in the bottle, like the old beer glasses. What we had up there.
Yeah, that's Brian Daigle misses goals every time he missed Højbjerg's goal when he came.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
What was the loudest and best atmosphere you experienced at the old Lane? There's always one I think of immediately.
A few stand out to me. I remember Sevilla at home in the UEFA Cup as it was then. That was unbelievable atmosphere that night. One that really sticks out is Chelsea 2-1 when Dawson and Lennon scored. I thought that night the place was shaking, literally. Obviously, the 5-1 against Arsenal. Ryan says it, Inter Milan. That was massive. But the last North London derby at White Hart Lane and the last game at White Hart Lane, both of them are up there. Both of them are absolutely up there. But I think I'm going to have to go with the 2-1 against Chelsea. That game was just, the atmosphere was incredible, absolutely incredible. And I was in the White Hart Lane train station after the game, and some guy, he must have been about 30 years old, something like that. He's on his knees. He comes up to me on his knees and he's like got tears streaming down his face. Like, I haven't seen us beat Chelsea since we were 2 years old or something like that. And that was just like...
He came up to you in tears because Alan had pissed on him in the shelf.
Yeah.
Iggy, that's the one I was thinking of when he scored from the corner flag. You know, he kept the ball in. It was Dele, wasn't it? Dele kept the ball in on the corner flag, and then Kane scored from that tight angle. I ended up about 6 rows further forward, bruised up shins, and I've never known anything like it. Yeah. And we always remind Gazza because he swapped tickets with my brother that day, so we all say to him that the atmosphere that day, Gazza, was brilliant. He's like, yeah.
No, you're right. It was.
That was great. If you could have scored one famous goal in Spurs history, which one would it be and why?
It would be the winner against Liverpool in the Champions League final. No, if I could score one goal in history, what would it be and why? Bloody hell. Any winner against Arsenal. Just because I could run to that away end and just literally shithouse them till the cows come home. I mean, any game against, I just hate them so much. I'll do anything to stick it in their faces. I don't know which goal I'd score. Maybe that Yunus Kabul goal, to be honest, the winner at the Emirates, our only ever winner at the Emirates. So I can, if I would have scored that goal, I literally run around the whole stadium so I could look every single Arsenal fan in the face and just go like that to them. Just go like that around the whole stadium.
You know, it's Alan's disappeared before. You remember 1991? What's your favourite match day pub?
So I spent a lot of time in the Bricklayers when I was like coming up, when I was going on my own and stuff like that. I spent a lot of time in the Bricklayers. Number 8, which used to be the Bell and Hare, I used to spend a lot of time there. Probably those two. Probably I spent the most time in. Coach and Horses is also pretty good as well. But there's a new pub actually on Tottenham High Road. I can't remember the name of it right now, but apparently it's pretty good. So I want to check that out pretty soon. But I'd have to say I've spent the most time in the Bricklayers, so I'll probably go with the Bricklayers.
We used to like a bit of Bell and Hare. Or number 8, whatever it's called. I think it was number 8 before it's Bell and Hare, and then back to number 8, isn't it?
The Bell and Hare was good, but the number 8 is just, it's not the same.
Yeah,
there's something missing.
They used to have the can bar at the back. That was the best bit, like £1.50.
Yeah, they used to have the can bar. They used to have food back there as well. They used to do like things as well, and it was great.
They did burgers and stuff, didn't they?
That's right. And it was great because you had the inside. If you were, if it was raining or if it was, the weather wasn't good, or you didn't smoke, you went inside, or you had the beer garden as well for people who smoke. So it was a lot. It's so much better. It's a bit soulless now, I found.
And you could smoke inside then as well.
Yeah.
You should see Trigger in there as well in the corner, stood on his own. Still have seen Trigger there. You used to get random cars driving up when it's packed, didn't you? Like you could even move in there outside, and then suddenly the gates would open and a car would want to park back for somebody, and everyone had to try and get out of the way for a bloody car. Last question, would you believe? Which 3 guests from Tottenham, past or present, would you invite to your ideal dinner party?
Oof. Martin Yole would be number 1, I think. I'd love to have dinner with Martin Yole. He'd be brilliant. The stories that he could tell. Martin Yole, number 1. I'll go for David Ginola as number 2. We can go out for a few cigarettes as well during the meal. Who would be my 3rd? Gazza. I'll go for Gazza, but before he had all the issues and stuff like that, like I'd love to have a good drink with Gazza. That would have been unbelievable. So I'll go for those 3.
Didn't you have him in your cup once, Alan? Do you want to tell Ben the story? Do you want to tell Ben your story? What year was it?
What season did he sign? I'm trying to think. Season he signed.
Wrong answer.
88. Did he sign 88?
88 or 89, yeah. And we used to have a 88. It must have been 89, 90. I must have thrown him in the cut. What happened was I was going into the hotel lobby. I was going into the hotel lobby to pick up a customer. And as I was walking in, he walked past me with a bottle of Jack Daniels in his hand.
Did he say, "How's life?"
That wasn't the thing.
And
That was very rude if he did that to you, Alan.
he just walked in, walked to my car, opened the door, and started talking on the mic that I used to connect with the controller.
For clarity, the mic is microphone, and he wasn't talking into your knob, was he, Alan?
Mike,
not when he first got in the cab.
Not when he first got in.
Not when he first got in the cab, no.
Yeah. And you helped him give up drinking, didn't you, Alan?
I wish I could. I wish I could have helped him give up drinking. That would have been the best thing that could have ever happened.
Absolutely.
I still want to watch that documentary.
Which one's that?
There was a documentary, I think it was on last night, about the media circus around him and all the stuff that sort of went on because of who he was, you know, and how much reporting he got. So yeah, that's worth checking out on iPlayer if it's still there. I think it was on the BBC.
Did you ever watch Guys of the Real Me that Brian Daigle always goes on about? I had it on VHS as well. That's a good documentary as well.
Absolutely. It's so sad. It's so sad. What I mean, ultimately, look. Do you know what we sort of talk about Gaza, and it's like a lot of people would turn around who aren't interested in football and say, "Well, so what? He's an alcoholic." It's like, yes, that's true, but we have a connection with him because of our club, and it's sad whoever it happens to. You know, in this instance, it's sad that someone with so much verve and so much almost lust for life at the time could get to the point where he's ultimately the one destroying himself. And that's not me blaming him for doing it. I'm just saying that the circumstances in which he, you know, grew up and became an adult and then lived his life contributed to him basically just almost destroying himself. And it's really tragic. It really is tragic.
A lot of addictions are linked to a lacking of adult sort of, you know, closeness and sort of trust and having someone close to you. So, that's exactly what's happening with him.
Well, we've spoken. I mean, you know, our sort of community has spoken about mental health issues in the past, and it's that addiction is a mental health issue. It's not. There is a physical dependency, sure, but it's not the only thing. A lot of the times, you'll find that people who are addicted to heroin, for instance, will just give it up because they will resolve whatever it is in their minds that has led, if they get the opportunity, they put it aside because they resolve whatever it is that's in their minds that has led them to be addicted in the first place. And then once that's resolved, it's like, I don't need this anymore. There's a physical need and there's an emotional or psychological need as well. And the psychological need is far harder to deal with. You know? And that's what has happened with Gaza. I think he's got the need for the alcohol because that was the drug that was available to him.
Numbed his mental illness. Yeah. Rez, it's come that time, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Rez in ruins. The hot chip challenge.
Let's do this. Come on.
All right.
Barry's done a runner. Where are you going, Barry?
Why did he run away?
Yeah,
I'm not running away. I have people here. I have people here that want to watch this live with me.
Okay.
I was just letting them know that it was that time.
All right. I'm
You
just
know?
taking
What are
one
you drinking?
last. That's squash, as you can see here. I'll show you. It's just squash. It's not milk. I'm just prepping myself. All right.
So, Rez, do you want to explain why you're eating this hot chip festival?
Yes. So, essentially, we are a relatively small channel at the moment. A few weeks ago, I said that, you know, I said it on Colin Talking Ball. We were talking about his hot chip challenge, and we discussed the possibility of me doing that if Shelfside Spurs managed to break the 300 subscriber mark. And Ben and Sim were very kind to ask me onto We Are Tottenham TV, along with Nick, this weekend against Villa. And during that show, Nick hit upon the very bright idea of essentially saying during the watch-along that if we broke 500 subscribers, I would eat the chip live on We Are Tottenham TV. Now, thankfully, that didn't happen because God alone knows what would have happened to the studio. However, we did break 300. We're currently on 550 something. And so I have the chip. It's a bit broken up at the moment, so I'm going to have to tip it into my hand, which means I'm going to get
That's just a Dorito dipped in paprika, isn't it?
Yeah,
yeah. If that's what it is, then I'm lucky. But yes, I'm going to eat this now, and then I've got to suffer a 5-minute afterburn following it as well. As you can see, it's sealed, so I'm now going to snip it open.
How are you with spice in general, Riz?
I'm not bad, but I'm not one of these that likes.
Can you give it a little smell test? Does it smell hot? Any whiffage? Is it going to make your eyes water just the mere smell of it?
Yes, it has a very pungent smell, and it's just opened up my nostrils and my sinuses. So okay, here goes.
I can't believe you put it in your hand.
Get all that powder, Rez.
Make sure when you go to the toilet, you don't wash it.
Right. So there's the and it's empty.
I'm doing the timer. Hang on.
Hold on. I've got to swallow it first.
You're on 1 minute and 1 hour, 1 minute of the show, so you got to get to 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Right. I'm ready. Look,
ready?
5 minutes. So trust me.
Yeah. 5, 4, 3, 19, 90, 1, 0. Go.
Tell me when you finished, and then I'll start the timer.
I haven't even swallowed the fucker yet.
You need to do the old Bush Tucker trial with the tongue out, so we know you've swallowed it.
Is it all in?
Is it in? Right, starting it. And just so you know, because you don't trust me, Reds. There you go. All right, it's counting down.
So is he not allowed to?
Christ Almighty! Oh, I think I can see through time. Oh, fucking hell!
Reds, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with that powder that's on your hand? You're gonna snort it?
No.
Cover your eye.
His right eye's gone.
Oh wow! Oh wow! This is
bad. Oh, look at this already. Oh dear, Rez, you're in trouble here.
Rez, just to let you know, you've got 4 minutes and 22 seconds left.
36 seconds down.
He's got to sing a song.
Were you swearing it to your mother there, or just into the ether?
Sweat on his head.
Oh my god!
You can't talk.
Crying.
Alan, talk. Alan, Phil.
Alan, Phil the void. 4 minutes.
Oh, you got your mute on, Alan. Alan, you're muted.
He might die.
Are you okay, mate?
I feel sorry for him, mate.
Ben, you might want to ask who's available for the Liverpool games to do the watch along. Which one's Ben? It's not Alan, is it? It's not LJ and it's not Red.
Yeah, bearing in mind she knows Rez, me, and you.
Yeah.
Which one's Ben?
Which one is Ben?
This is Barry here.
Janine.
Janine.
I'm going to push her over a cliff.
I'm getting pushed over a cliff again.
I don't know if
it'll help.
I think Rez really needs to find something inside so strong. Come on, give us a rendition, Barry. Give him the strength.
Come on, Rez.
No, mate, we're with you.
Don't look well.
How long's he got to go, Barry? Or how long's he?
3 minutes.
Something inside so
what you've got to think of here is Rez, what are you going to do when we get to 500?
I know that Rez can make it.
What you've done here.
We know that Rez can make it.
If we get to 1,000 subscribers tonight, Alan is going to step up out of his wheelchair and walk. It's a miracle, isn't it? We promise you, if we get to 1,000 subscribers, Alan's going to stand up and walk.
John, I can walk very few steps, but I can walk. So
halfway, Rez, halfway.
What's he going to do after the
Wow,
halfway
Barcelona losing to Frankfurt.
You're doing brilliant, mate. You're doing brilliant. Come on.
Frankfurt, give you a little...
Can we ask how he feels?
Rez, how do you feel, mate?
Fucking awful.
Rez is on fire.
I really am.
All right.
Oh.
We're with you, bruv. We're with you.
On the way out.
What's going to be your drink of choice then, Rez, when you finally get to the 5 minutes? So you go for a bit of milk, a bit of water. What's the best thing to drink?
Milk.
That's not milk, is it?
How long we got?
Rez, we've got a special message from Iggy. Ready?
Yeah. Come on,
Something inside so strong. Oh no.
Let's put up some of the comments for you.
Oh my God. Rez, you're nearly there. We're nearly into the final minute.
Come on,
Tattoo
mate.
for
Come on.
1,000 subs. What's your name, Cody? Brian Daigle?
Where's Dago?
Yeah, where's Daigle when we want to do a tattoo bet? Come on. Come on, Rez. You're nearly there, mate.
He looks like he's in labour.
You're doing brilliant, mate. You're doing brilliant. Come on. Come on.
Sick.
I've met Nick. I've met Rez before. I'll meet him again. How's life?
Just in case.
Oh, okay. Final minute, Rez. Final minute.
Nick, will you get a Barry tattoo if we get 1,000 subs?
No,
No.
I will.
You will. On your arse, Laura, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Between the cheeks.
No, don't make bets like this. We're live, right? When bets like this happen, it's not good.
Oh, dribbling on live on stream. I don't know if we can handle that. Oh, let's correct the nose and everything. Jesus, Reggie's struggling. How long's he got left?
He's got milk. He's got milk. Jesus Christ. I feel bad for you.
I'm quite proud.
Do you know what? I'm so
I am.
glad we didn't do this on We Are Tottenham TV, Rez.
Yeah.
I'd have had to give you
I'm
mouth
proud of you,
or
bro.
something. It
He
would
would
have
have
been,
been in his desk. Jesus.
Both would have enjoyed that, let's be honest.
yeah, we would have enjoyed that. We're
Barry,
already
How long
there.
have we got? How long
10.
have
9,
9,
8,
7,
6,
6,
5,
5,
5,
4,
5, 3.
Four.
Done, Rez. It's done.
19, 91. Whee.
Get in there,
Well done,
man.
Rez. Is that any better, or has it made it worse? It's just circulating in the air. See, look at him.
He found something inside so strong, man. Well done, man.
Oh, Rez, that is. I don't know what to say.
Did you choose a t-shirt that you knew you could dribble on, Rez, or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to go wash my hands and stuff.
Yeah, don't touch your willy when you go.
Yeah, don't touch your willy first. Yeah?
Yeah.
Wash your hands first. Oh wow, that chair's just going to be there for the rest of the night.
Yeah,
Rez
round
Rez-
of applause
Rez is done.
from Alan there. Let's go to some of the comments. You called for it, people. He's getting lots of well downs. Let's just get that up there. Big up, Rez.
Rez, man. Absolutely big up.
Yeah.
Rez.
And that's why I'd never, ever take on anything like that. No way, Jose.
Can we not tempt you for 1,000 now? If we get
No.
1,000 subscribers, no.
Nothing. No chance.
What would you do for 1,000, Al? Just out of interest.
I can't do anything for 1,000, mate. I can't. There's not. What can I do? I can't put a tattoo on because I'm on Wolverine. Yeah. I can't go walking because I can't walk far. So what do you want me to? What do you want me to think?
Marathon?
Yeah. John, you're so clever. I don't know where you get your bright ideas from.
Oh, hang on. Iggy's here with a voice note again.
Oh, we got another new voice note.
Play it. Hang on.
No one tells Alan what to do.
Iggy, I
I
can't wait to meet you next time. I'm gonna have words with you when I run you over.
Oh dear. Okay. Well, I guess Ben. I guess we won't keep you any longer because it was a pleasure and thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really enjoyed that, man. Really enjoyed that.
What the last bit or all of it?
The last bit especially, but all of it. All of it. Big up Rez, man.
Shame you can't be with us longer. To be honest with you, Ben. Usually do a long one.
What? I can stay. I can stay for a tiny bit more. I'm not.
And talk football, eh?
Yeah, we can talk some football. I'll let you know when I need to go.
How you feeling, mate?
Yeah. Rough. Oh.
Where's Tommy when you need him? Rough.
Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, that was an experience.
We'll buy you a bit of time, mate. Alan, how's your Alatici radar? You had a few sniffs this week, haven't you, Alan, on the Alatici radar?
It looks like we could be. It looks like possibly Graham Roberts for the 19th of May.
Nice.
So I'm just waiting for him to confirm it, but 19th of May at the moment.
Good work. When's Steve Perryman night?
That's on the 17th of June.
All right, way off it, yeah.
Yeah.
How you
That's
holding
in
up,
Ware.
Rez?
That's in Ware, Hertfordshire.
The mouth has stopped burning the worst. My lips are burning all of a sudden. I had a moment where I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to keep it down because my stomach was really hurting, but it seems to have settled. I just need to go and do some cold water.
Think of the ratings. Think of the ratings. You could have puked up on screen. That would be great.
Yeah.
I just need
Let's
to
just
go.
let's go back to normal screening. We don't need to put more pressure on him. He's had enough.
Hang on.
Yes, LJ. Don't put any more pressure on him.
El director.
Oh,
Melted his
dear.
glasses, as indeed, Brad. He's melted his glasses. I've never seen Rez without his glasses before.
No.
Rez, we've got a question for the panel when you get back. Just keep that one on there.
Rez is on fire.
This is the Walter White origin story. Rez will now become a chemist. Rez is on D. Yeah, imagine that. That's going to be the Shellside show in the morning. Rez is on fire on the toilet. Daring me. Let's leave
The thing is, John, really, as it's your show, shouldn't you do some sort of challenge if we get to 500?
Well,
You know what I mean?
exactly. 300 is like a nothing number, wasn't it, really? It's
Yeah,
like
500, yeah. I think you should do something for 500, John. Come on. It's your show. You know.
I'm in it for the love, mate. I'm not in it for the numbers. One was enough for me. One was enough for me.
Oh,
In other
dear.
words, you ain't got the bottle either.
I'll do something at 500. So
Oh, yeah. Well, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I'm going to think about it before I commit. Many people have said things and committed too early, and look at Rez over there and what he's done. So,
Rez, to distract yourself, Cody's put a question for you. Look, Rez, what's the worst thing you've done to yourself aside from that?
Beside that, Christ, I don't know.
Nothing.
Hard to imagine right now, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Bobby K's got a good one.
yeah, Bobby
Al?
K's got a good one for you, Al.
I think I
No chance, Bobby. No chance.
They're already
suffering.
pissed, aren't they? Al? We're back. If we get to 1,000 subs,
done years ago. Not having that ever done again.
if we get to 1,000 subs, Alan will get a Prince Albert. That's what we're saying, is it?
yeah. Live.
Like and subscribe. Guys.
1 million.
Oh, now there's a challenge, Al. You've said it. Now 1
Yeah,
million
you said it.
subscribers, you will get a Prince Albert. Brilliant, Bobby, Cody, clip that.
Bob, you're all heart.
I'll be dead by then, boys.
Bobby said he's going to let you eat another one, Rez, if you get to 2,000. If he gets to 2,000 subs.
Oh dear, brilliant. I like that, Bobby. Are you okay? You okay, Rez? Yeah. What have you got?
Yeah.
What you got now?
Just,
a bit
What's
of
that,
yogurt.
cheeky?
Yogurt. Bit of yogurt.
How much did you pay for that chip, Rez?
$5.95.
Did you?
What's
Was it worth it?
What's the heat rating on it, or whatever? They rate the on the chilies or whatever.
1.2 million Scoville units.
What's a red hot? What's a black pepper army?
4. No, it's like 100 or something. A jalapeno is 1,000.
Okay,
so
and that's 1.2. That's 1.2 million.
It's 1,200 times hotter than a jalapeno.
Tommy in the comments.
Carry on.
Unbelievable.
It's all good. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine.
Bring it up as well. Tommy, okay. How does Barry get out of this scot-free? Is that the one?
How
I-
does
I-
he get out of this top three?
I feel something coming my way. I think I'm going to need to find something inside so strong.
Always, mate.
It's true.
Brian Ireland's in the house. Ellie's in the house. Rez, you know one of your favourite things in life is describing how to caress things.
Mm.
Let's
Yes.
just
So
really listen to it.
even in my heat, even in my suffering, I still believe in caressing the like button and the subscribe button gently, lovingly. Tell it that you enjoy it. You know, you don't have to smash it like I just smashed my power to feel anything other than pain. Yes, gradually, gently. You know.
I mean, just caress it or smash it, whatever you guys want to do. Just hit it at least.
Yes, make contact. Make contact. That's the key. Whew, I tell you what.
Rez, you're going to be making some contact tomorrow morning, mate. Jesus Christ! I hope you've got some very soft toilet paper.
No, to be
and
honest,
some cream.
the hottest, even after eating the hottest curry I can remember eating, it never suffered the day after. Yeah, if it does, I mean, fuck it. You know, it's part of the challenge, and I'm glad I did it.
I don't wait for you, Rez. It's just gone past.
So, should we talk about Brighton?
It's the ambulance come to get me.
Bringing it up as well. Okay. Before we let Ben go, we'll get Ben's take on this one first. What's your score prediction for Brighton on Saturday morning, Ben? What are you thinking?
Well, on my podcast yesterday, I said 5-0. This morning, when I was doing the show with Sim, I said 4-0. Now I'm going to say 3-0. It's going down by.
You're getting close. You've got enough room there.
Has Conte got COVID? I've been busy all day. Is he going to be at the game or not? Or did he do the press conference?
He'll be at the game. He did the press conference today by Zoom, but he says he's fine and most likely he will be at the game.
Yeah, test him every day and whatnot. Any team news? Have I missed what's going on? Have we got put up with Emerson Royale, I presume?
Yeah, I mean, Skip and Doherty are out. I mean, I'm hearing from a certain source that apparently Skip could be out for the rest of the season, which is not great to hear. And I heard as well that Bentancur and Winks had a few niggles during the week, but they should be fine for the weekend. So I wouldn't worry about Winks anyway, but I would worry about Bentancur.
They might have known about Skip in January, but they kept it quiet, so we didn't have a meltdown and demand that they sign another midfielder.
I don't know if they would have known because Conte has been quite vocal about him being injured, about him going on loggerheads with the medical team and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure. It seemed as though for everyone that he was back last week. He was in training, pictured in training, and then felt something in his groin. So I don't know what's going on there. I really don't.
Conte's not the type to do that, is he?
No.
He's not the type to play along with that sort of thing.
No. So, yeah, I mean, I think it'll be a standard team, more or less. I think, obviously, Lloris in goal, Emerson right wing back. And he actually said in his press conference today that Sessegnon is ready to start. And he didn't really mention much about Reguilon. So that kind of thing, my thinking is that Sessegnon will be at left wing back on Saturday morning.
Hopefully he'll be on right wing back. He used to play there for Fulham, didn't he?
Yeah, it could be Sessegnon right wing back, Reguilon left wing back. That could be a case, yeah. But yeah, I just think that Brighton obviously getting their first win in a long time against the Gooners last week, which obviously brings a big smile to my face. So I think they'll come to our stadium in a bit more of a confident mood. I think maybe first 10, 15 minutes, maybe even the first half, they'll bring the game to us a little bit, but I think quality will shine through in the end. And I think second half will give them a bit of a pounding. And if we can keep a clean sheet in the first half, I think we'll manage to keep a clean sheet for the whole game. So I'm going to be quite confident. I'm going to stick with 3-0 Spurs. Harry Kane hat-trick.
Before we let you go, what have you got on this weekend on the channel? Who's doing the watch along? Have you got any shows coming up before the Brighton game?
Yeah, so tomorrow, the usual pre-match days. So me and my brother will go live in the morning at 11, do the match preview, get fans on afterwards as well. and then predicted lineup will come out. And then on Saturday morning, we've got me and Henry Wright on the watch along. Then followed by the post-match fan show. And prior to that as well, you got David Harris on the pre-match pump-up. So yeah, action-packed a few days ahead. And then obviously Sunday, me and my brother back on all the post-match stuff, post-match stream, and player ratings and 5 takeaways as well. So endless amounts of content coming your way over the next 3 days.
Nice one. Anyone got anything for Ben before we let him go? Rez, Barry, Alan?
No, just thank you,
No,
Ben. I guess
Thanks
thank you
for coming on,
obviously
Ben.
to me and Rez for the last weekend, and obviously thank you for coming on tonight. Hopefully there's some of those new subscribers that are here tonight, and welcome to them as well. So thank you.
Yeah, no, you don't need to thank me at all. I mean, you guys absolutely smashed it on the channel last week. Absolutely brilliant. I loved every second of what I saw. And no, thank you for having me on tonight. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. I've really enjoyed it. Always great going down White Hart Memory Lane.
Nice one.
Absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks very much.
Cheers, Ben. Thank you, mate.
Yeah, mate. Take care.
Thanks,
Good luck in June.
Cheers, mate.
Absolutely.
Reginald. Oh, so Tommy's put something up. 600 subs. Barry's waxing back, sack and crack live on air.
Yes. Yeah.
1,000 maybe.
Yeah. That upset John so much he just logged off.
I think you're right. He was joking.
Al's just sent him a message like the old Emperor in Star Wars, and just that's what I think of you, Johnny.
I can feel your anger.
Don't choke on your ambitions.
You've been eating one of them as well, have you, John?
Yeah, Janine's pushing me down off the cliff.
Janine.
Just very quickly, Sophie, thank you for asking. I'm not okay, but I will be. I'm recovering. It's getting better. It's just still a bit of burnage in there.
Cody, that is brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant what you've just done.
What's he done?
I've shared it on our group. Yeah. Oh my God, that was. I don't know where to go from there. I'm a little bit thrown up.
Oh dear. That was yeah.
Eddie demands more milk for you.
Yeah, more milk.
More milk, Rez. Dovers had a question as well, LJ.
Did he? Well, my brother.
He did.
Where's he on the chat? Is he?
Sure, brother. Yeah,
Hang on.
8:19.
Dovers, oh yeah.
Where's that?
I would rather spend tomorrow morning, the morning after, any other morning than watching those Phil come to our place and clinch 4th spot.
Absolutely.
So, Rez, get a little seat there, mate. I'll be there in about an hour.
I'd rather eat another one of those chips than see those fuckers get anything.
Sophie wants to know what's the topic for Rez's rant this week. Have you got one? Here's one for you, Rez. Here's one for you. After Atletico Madrid's antics last night against Man City, did any part of you feel slightly sorry for Manchester City?
I wouldn't feel sorry for Man City if Atletico Madrid were dipping their balls in sewage and making them eat them. Right? As far as I'm concerned, Man City can drop off the face of the planet. If you'd asked me if it was any other club, apart from Chelsea or Newcastle or Arsenal, then I would say that there's an element of sort of shithousery about what Atletico were doing. But that's Atletico. That's what they do. What I didn't appreciate was the almost hagiographic method of commentary in which they are lauding Man City to the skies for their bravery in coming up against the ruthless murderers in red and white and blue. You know, poor Man City for walking into this cauldron of hatred, where, you know, every single time Atletico Madrid player goes near them, they're taking their lives in their very hands. It's like, shut up. And I would also ask, where was this concern for, you know, opposition players when Villa were kicking us all around Villa Park on Saturday? I didn't hear any commentators losing any sleep over the Spurs players that were being hacked down, or the potential season-ending injury that might have happened to Harry Kane after Ashley Young put in that utterly despicable tackle towards the end of the thing. Where was your concern then, is my question to those commentators. Obviously, it wasn't the same commentators, but the general thrust was the same, right? Why is it that, when those profile clubs, I'm not even going to call them big clubs, because you know what, Man City, you're not a big club, right? You used to be, but you're not anymore. Just look at your stadium on a match day, yeah? Where was the concern? When the profile clubs play, everything is about them, right? When it's anyone else, nothing at all. You know, they don't give a shit. If it was Spurs doing it to Villa, they would likewise have given no shit whatsoever. Yeah. But if it was Man City, if it was Man United, if it was the scum, if it was Liverpool, if it was Chelsea, yeah, they'd be all over that like flies on shit, right? And it's just an extension of what Iggy was talking about recently as well, about the coverage, the media bias at that Villa game, funnily enough. You know, it was just, there's so much partiality. It's so unbiased. It's so unbalanced. And then when you accuse them of it, they turn around and say, no, we're balanced. No, we are balanced. Yeah,
I get the feeling they probably sit around the studio going, what can we do to wind up the Tottenham fan? They probably have a little joke and a laugh about it, don't they, really? Yeah. To be honest,
I didn't even see the Man City game. I watched parts of
you missed some good Champions League games this week, mate. There's some real crackers.
Real
Madrid. You saw that one, didn't you?
Yeah. But
I'm going to risk it.
Every time I went out the room, or when I went out the room, they scored the equaliser. Benfica scored the equaliser. And then when it went 3-1, I just turned it off. So if I hadn't watched the talk, it would have been 3. I think might have actually won.
That's the first time I can remember in a while, which probably goes down to saying what people say about there being too many group games and too many meaningless games. But now it's reached the quarterfinals. There've been some really good Champions League games and ties against two good teams going hammer and togs at each other. It's been some good games.
Losing at the moment.
What's going on in the Thursday night games, Al?
Leon 0-0.
Leicester went through. They came back from 1-0 down to win 2-1. So Leicester through.
Rangers have beaten Braga 1-0.
What was the score of the first leg of Leon, Adam? Was it 1-0, wasn't it?
1-0.
Barcelona losing
at home. Losing 2-1 on aggregate. And Atlanta, Leipzig 1-3-1 on aggregate.
Be Leipzig. So obviously I've been busy all week, guys. So what have I missed? Any Spurs news I've missed out on? Any transfer links? Has Levy been up to anything? Has any
Gareth Bale injuries? Apparently has signed a pre-contract agreement.
What, for us?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't see it.
So I see news that I heard that Conte weren't interested in him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, why would Conte want him? He's not going to bust his ass off, is he?
If anything, he would consider Eriksen, but that was only a consider. He would consider Eriksen, but not Bale.
But I don't know what you're on about.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, hang on. Give me a moment. Talking about yourselves. Look who it is! Hello, Bobby. You all right, mate?
Yeah, just finished pissing myself after watching Rez. Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's not everywhere, wasn't it? It's not everywhere. Our eyes were watering.
Oh,
The mouth
it
was
was beautiful.
dribbling.
It was beautiful.
How can you enjoy seeing someone go through that pain, Bob? Oh, cool.
No, it's good. Big up on you, Rez.
You still suffering, Rez, or not? Oh, you're on mute, mate.
You're mute, Rez.
Can't feel his hands.
No, there's pretty much. It's weird. There's still like there's still pain there, but it's not burning. It's like, you know, when you've eaten not hot as in spicy, but hot as in food that's like heat, you know, high temperature, and you've burnt your mouth a little bit because you've eaten it too quickly. It feels a bit like that at the moment. The stomach is still slightly dicey, but nothing major. The milk is helping. The yogurt has helped, and I'm obviously still a bit snotty, but yeah, I'm fine. I'm all right.
Was it instant then, Rez?
Pretty much, yeah.
Was
yeah.
it? Oh, okay.
Pretty much as soon as it hit my tongue, it was like fuck. And then, you know, having to chew it and swallow it as well. The worst part of it wasn't the burning in the mouth and the tongue or anything. It was like there was like a red hot tablet going down into my stomach. I could feel it going down my what's it called, my tubes, right? And then there was one moment when I genuinely thought I was going to throw up.
Yeah,
and that would have been bad. Yeah, that would have been bad because it would have brought the whole thing back up along with my stomach acids as well.
Would have been good for the ratings.
It would have been.
Yeah. Two extra subs.
Yeah.
It would have
We
been
were prepared to do that.
Yeah.
We couldn't believe you put the crisps in your hand. And I quote Kim. She said, "For an intelligent man, I can't believe he's actually put it into his hand."
I had to because I knew if I tried to empty it out of this into my mouth, I'd get it all over my face.
Yeah, I suppose.
Chili powder. And plus, obviously, I've got a beard as well.
Yeah.
So it would have been stuck in there. It was the only way. It was that or pour it into some kind of receptacle to try and get it into my mouth without it touching too much of my face. That's the only reason I did it. It wasn't because I didn't consider the stuff on my hands as well. You know?
Oh, it was brilliant. Well done, mate. Well done.
Thanks,
Well done, mate. Well done. Thanks for doing it. So did you guys have fun on We Are Tottenham TV? Was it? You were there for probably 4 or 5 hours, weren't you? 4 or 5 hours. It was the watch along and then the post show. Yeah,
it was. Yeah. Although I should have said to Ben while he was here, is you need to change those bloody chairs, mate.
They are. They're looking to do that. I was talking to that with Sim on Friday.
They're uncomfortable, are they?
Yeah. After 5 hours sat on them, yeah. They're all right.
Bobby, you did it. Bobby, you did a few of those, didn't you, before you were in hospital?
Yeah, I did the Palace. I did the Palace game.
Yeah.
I did a Good Morning, and I'm doing the Leicester game as well.
Nice.
And I'm hoping they get some fucking new chairs by then. So
put it on your rider. You demand a new chair.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Your rider.
I think my entourage is going to demand that before I turn up. Yeah.
They've got some nice chairs, some good chairs. But they only bring those out for special people. No. They've got some good chairs that they don't have a huge amount of back support, but then they're nice and comfy and they go up and down, they swivel and everything. But they've worn them because obviously they've had them for ages and they sink. So when I was sat next to Sim on Friday, you probably didn't notice because I was raising myself up as the chair was sinking down, and then I changed it for one of the bar stools. And then on the Saturday with me and Nick, it was like, don't sit on these ones because they just sink. And
you could have got me there, Rez. I could have been sat there watching it, and all of a sudden I just go.
No, but I love you too much to do that, Nick. Sorry.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Alan's disappeared. You started some questions there. I just noticed that we didn't ask Ben any of them.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, you had one about Spurs managers. Let's bring it up.
Yeah. That's right.
Sorry, mate. Didn't know you could even star messages, Rez.
Yeah. If you star them and then they'll put them in another column and you can come back later rather than scrolling back up to
Amir asks, what players do you want to come to Spurs? Hakimi's the one for me. I mean, I don't know if we'd be able to afford him. He said he's leaving PSG, hasn't he? If we want to be a proper club and we're after a right wing back, why not buy the best one that's available?
Yeah, I know it's a simplified answer, but I think Rez knows what I'm going to say. Whoever Conte wants.
Yeah.
Be it a 28-year-old, be it an 18-year-old, be it whoever, someone from Kuala Lumpur, whoever Conte wants, Conte should be able to get.
That's why the Bale thing's a bit worrying, isn't it, Bob? Because
it is, yeah. BBC Wales have just announced it, haven't they?
Yeah,
you would have thought,
if he thinks he can use him, if he thinks he can utilize him, because I mean, look, you got to think of it this way: we've got 3 at the moment up front. Or no, let's widen it. We've got 5 forward players, and that's the number that you need if you're playing 3 up front for rotation and for cover. Of those 5, it's Kulu, Kane, Son, Mora, and Bergwijn. Right. 2 of those are definitively upgradable, right? Much as I love Lucas Moura, he's upgradable. Much as I might appreciate what Bergwijn has done, or that he's got a high ceiling and he may develop into a really good player, as things stand right now, he's upgradable, right?
Yeah.
So the question becomes, does Bale fit into a front 3 for Spurs and for Conte's system? If the answer is yes, that's fine. I mean, Bale plays, he does like to play centrally, he says, but he can play anywhere across the front 3, really. So, in a cup game, or if you want to give Son or Kane or Kulu a rest, he can slot in anywhere. So you can sort of see the connective tissue behind that kind of transfer, if that's what's in Conte's thinking. Whether or not it's the right purchase, that's a very different question. It's very difficult to say whether or not
it's smacks of a commercial sign, doesn't it, from Levy, to be honest? I mean,
that's a possibility, yeah.
And you can't forget, it's World Cup year, so he will want a club. All this talk of him retiring, he will want to go to a club. He knows he's not going to get 90 minutes week in, week out, and he'd be happy to be. I mean, if anything, he'd keep himself fit, wouldn't he?
His fitness is going to be on fire, isn't it? If he does pre-season ahead of the World Cup,
exactly. So he makes the squad bigger. He gives an extra option. But again, it comes down to if Conte wants him, and is he a Conte player? Like Red says, he can easily fit into the front 3. Talking of the front 3 and Decky, there's also reports out. Have you heard that there was a Premier League club who turned him down before Spurs accepted
Really?
him? Yeah. Do you know who that club was, Rez?
Arsenal.
Yep.
Yes.
He had the chance to go to Arsenal and they turned him down.
West Ham are 1-0 up.
No way goals though, is it, Al? So
no.
So we're right.
Come on, Dembele, do something good.
Agent Tanguy.
I just pinned the.
Pinned the tail on the donkey, and then you just came out.
What's going on? What are you doing, Rez?
What are you doing, Rez? Are you all right?
I told you can't feel his hand.
There was also talk today of Bergwijn going to United for 20 million with Ten Hag, but I don't know.
That's a lazy link. I mean, he wanted him to take him to United. What happened there, Rez?
This camera, I think, is dying. I was going to show you that I pinned the what's it called, the packet. This camera's dying. I need to. I mean, we've discussed me sort of doing my own show and stuff. So I want to upgrade my equipment anyway, but I think I might need to do that sooner than I might have anticipated.
Yeah.
So that's all. It's just the camera's playing silly buggers.
We had a question from Ellie as well.
Yeah.
Who are your top 3 favourite managers who didn't manage Spurs?
Fergie'd have to be there.
Yeah, I like Fergie. I never minded him too much. He was stopping Arsenal win things, wasn't he?
Yeah. I love Fergie. I think he's absolutely brilliant. I don't know.
Brian Clough.
Yeah, Cloughie. My dad loved Cloughie. I
I like to see Ian Holloway. He'd have been mad to play for, wouldn't he? Ian Holloway. Nutter.
Yeah.
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 And Martin
Yeah.
Allen as well. He's a similar guy, isn't he? Martin Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of oh fucking hell.
Bobby Robson, he's a nice fellow, isn't he? Wouldn't have minded him
I was going to say
managing.
Bob Robson. Oh, who's the Brazilian manager, man?
Garanka.
Scolari.
Scolari, no, he's
It's
Chelsea.
Phil.
Eventually. Oh no.
Brazilian.
I
Who did he
can't-
manage? Bob? Did he
Just
manage
because
England?
they're winning World Cups and Chelsea
Yeah.
played the absolute brilliant. It was during the 80s. Oh man.
Here, I've got one for you. Marcelo Bielsa. I always thought he may have been a good Spurs manager, wouldn't he?
Yeah, certainly would have got the fitness right. But did you hear Marsh talking about how he blames the high injury list at Leeds because of Bielsa's training methods?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's right though. He's probably right because Bielsa, he does that. That's what Pochettino learned that from Bielsa.
Yeah, I've no issues with him thinking that, but to say it live on Talk Sport, just didn't sit right with me.
He's an American.
I was going to say that, but I know
he doesn't mince his words. Doesn't mince his words.
Yeah.
Barca 2-0 up now, down there.
Who?
Barca.
Oh, right.
2-0.
We said Arsenal, isn't it? Don't they play three? They play 3 times, don't they? After we play on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But after that, because they play the 12, they play like Chelsea midweek, then they play the 12:30 game after, and then after that, they don't once play before us. We either play before them or at the same time.
Yeah, so how it works, we kick off against Brighton at 12:30, and they play Southampton away 3 o'clock. Midweek Chelsea and 12:30 Man United. They can. I mean, if we were in their position, or any other team would be, or any team, they would be looking at that saying they've got the perfect chance to make up. Potentially, on paper, you can make up 9 points on Spurs. You know, you could be 2-0. Fucking hell, man.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they lost all 3 games. Ronaldo always shows up against Arsenal. He always does. That Champions League goal, that counter attack still is one of the best Champions League goals I've ever seen. Chelsea away. Chelsea, we've seen what they're made of. Like I thought, the 4-1 home defeat against Brentford was a one-off. Yeah. And Southampton away. Southampton need a reaction after that 6-0 drubbing, and they always do well after 9-0s. They always seem to do well, don't they? They've beaten Liverpool this season. If they can beat Liverpool, I'm sure they can beat Arsenal. No.
I'm sorry, Sophie.
Yeah. No, it's got to be.
That's it, Santana.
Nice. Yeah, but no, listen. I mean, I'm with you on this one, Bob. They are in right now. I mean, their own fans are doing it. Their own fans are talking about it. You know, they're sort of so deluded that they do it as an accusation against Spurs that they've got to play these tough games. It's like, as you know, Stells was saying it earlier. We've played those games as well. You know, we just happen to play them earlier. It doesn't make a difference. If you beat them, you beat them. If you don't beat them, you don't get the points. There's no injustice here. You know. Ridiculous people. They really.
Is there any risk that Chelsea might be a bit flat if they lose the semi as well? Obviously, they went out Europe last night. If they lose the semi-final over the weekend, they might be a bit flat and not really up for it when they play Arsenal.
No, they this weekend, didn't they? They're playing Palace.
Yeah, they were after those 2 losses to Brentford and Real Madrid. That you saw what they did. They destroyed Southampton.
And it could have been 9.
Yeah, they're angry. They're angry. You know, after that. So if they lose, I reckon they'll get angry again. And if they win, they'll just have the confidence. I honestly don't see Arsenal walking away from any of their London derbies with, let's be generous, more than a point. They might get a point against West Ham, but they're not going to get a point against Chelsea. They're certainly not going to get a point against us. We're going to rip them a new one.
Oh yeah.
On May the 12th, we're going to
4-1.
Yeah,
4-1.
but by that point, it probably won't matter anyway, because
No.
if Southampton show a reaction on this weekend, they really can hurt. They have the potential to hurt Arsenal, because Arsenal are brittle, and there'll be shades of, is this going to be another Palace? If Southampton come at them with some proper verb and a bit of pace on the flanks, which KWP certainly has got. All it would take would be like a beautiful free kick by James Ward-Prowse early on, and their confidence is going to be in the toilet. I'm with you, Bob. I really cannot see them getting many more points for the rest of the season, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I said for ages I can see them lose 2 games before they play us. I'll be honest, I didn't expect them to lose against Palace or Brighton, and we're 2 down already. And I know Barry Ranjit said, possibly 3. I reckon it'll be more. I can see it being more.
They're going to miss Tierney. They're going to miss Tierney big time.
Oh yeah,
He's their main attacking. Yeah, but what I'm saying is that their main attacks always seem to come down the left with Tierney. He put so many good balls in that they were picking up loose balls and getting goals from it. So
they couldn't help themselves. Well, they started crowing. Pride comes before a fall, doesn't it? They started crowing already that they'd overtaken us back into 4th, and you just thought, silly arseholes, you're going to get bitten on the arse. You're not ready.
It's all about us, Johnny. I keep saying that. It's all about us. We've got to keep the momentum. We've got to keep the right mentality. I mean, the last 2 press conferences, if you take snippets out what Conte's saying, when we smell blood, we must go in for the kill. Yeah. Today he was saying, do you reckon, are you worried about the pressure? He goes, no. We need to be. We're Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I'll obviously paraphrase. We're Spurs. We need to be playing under pressure. Yeah. We should be inviting pressure of wanting to be in a position where we can qualify for the Champions League. Absolutely. So he probably doesn't. If we've got no pressure, it means we've got nothing to play for. So he's dead right. He's inviting it on. There's no. Some managers previously, we'll take each game as it comes. This, that. No, fuck that. We want to play with pressure. We need to qualify for
the mentality they brought to the team, and they're used to playing under extreme pressure at Juventus, aren't they?
There you go. Yeah.
That's the kind of level of player you want and you need, isn't it?
And the fan base need to replicate. I keep on saying, we as a fan base need to replicate, immerse ourselves into what Conte's mindset and mentality is. We should be demanding. There is nothing wrong with demanding top 4 and being absolutely fucking mortified and gutted if we don't get it, because it shows where our ambition is now. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, man.
Conte come out with something today. I posted the link in the group chat. He wants us to be the 12th man every single game.
Yeah, really need to. It's like what we were talking about with Ben, with the atmosphere, the best atmosphere at White Hart Lane. So we always say, North London derby, which is obvious, but it should be that kind of atmosphere every game. Yeah. You go to Palace, it's like that every game.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to be. We've got to be ultras about it, in terms of at the ground, not beating.
That's what they built the South Stand for. That's what they brought the South Stand to be the white wall, not the yellow wall.
And then banned flags and built a corporate area right in the middle of it.
We just got to find ways around it. We got to find ways around it. I know that. It's horrific and it's so corporate and disgusting and soulless, but we can still bring soul, and we need to.
1882. I don't think it's in the South Stand anymore, is it? The season 2.
The 1882 club or whatever with their 3,500 season tickets.
They're all up top, aren't they? Yeah.
That's only the first half, is it, Carl?
That's annoying.
Large turn up second half.
I would take an 1882 season ticket if it meant I could sit in a seat in the bowl.
Yeah,
if it's like a corporate box and all of this stuff, I'm not interested.
You get a free program there, Rez, and 1 beer.
Oh well, that makes
one beer, yeah.
I think they knocked the program on the head, apparently, John. I think
that's gone as well. It's digital now, and it's a digital program.
because you don't have any printing costs with that.
Interesting. You spoke about. I was really interested when you spoke about Gazza's doc. Have you any of you guys seen the documentary from last night?
Not yet.
Well, we're watching it later, but we'll be touching on this on Saturday night on In the Wall. But we briefly talked about it yesterday, didn't we, Rez, when you were around? Do we think Gazza would have been more protected today with all the media coverage he got back in the 90s, or do you think it would have been worse off today with that media attention?
To be honest with you, Bob, I think because there wasn't no leniency with drinking in the sense in that era. You know what I mean? I mean, I used to go from away. We used to get home from away games, especially if it was a late one. If we got early enough, we would always go in the boozer, and all the players used to pile in and all having a beer. Now you don't hear so much of players drinking, so perhaps Gazza might have escaped it so much more now.
What I thought, Well, is I think looking back, he did come across like a bit of a lonely soul. And when I picture Gazza drinking, I always picture him drinking by himself.
Yeah.
I do think I know there's a lot of things wrong with social media today, but I think social media might have helped him in today's climate because there would have been so much support for him. There would have been so much help for him. So
I mean, I don't know. That time he walked out towards my car, like done that in my taxi or my minicab. I can't remember the other players, but I'm sure there was a couple of other players walking.
I'm sure there were, yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in them days, they used to have a good old piss up.
Of course, yeah.
I mean, the amount of times we used to pick up on players up from that hotel on a Saturday night, taking them home, and half of them sozzled out their head. The late Justin Edinburgh, and I keep forgetting his name.
There were no camera phones back then, were there? Camera phones, videos, and he'd be plastered all over. But I don't know what you guys think. I don't know what you think, John. But I just think.
I think what would happen. I think what Gazza would have been able to in today's game, what he would have been able to take advantage of, would have been, all those people that manage, social media for these players and stuff, because
the support network,
and the sort of entourage, it's so established now for the big players, and if he can, was the same profile as he was when he was playing in today's game, he'd have a massive staff around him. He would. I know he checked into the Priory, which cost money and all of that stuff, and he made money, but what with all the extra sports science around as well, sports psychologists, I think he probably would have been able to exercise at least some of his demons far better than he's been able to the point where he would probably have had a much better post career than he did.
He needed looking after. He needed looking after, didn't he, Rez? And I think he would have been looked after. And that's such a. My heart cries when I say that, because what a talent! Fucking hell! What a player! And all he needed was someone to look after him. And I think in today's game, in today's time, people would have been out there looking after Gazza. It's just a shame we didn't get that back then.
Jimmy Five Bellies, because they're not really that close anymore. Do you know what happened for the fallout and the relationship there? Does anyone know? Anyone?
I think
Five Bellies mostly dumped him once he didn't become. He weren't as rich and everything, because he was a Ponce. Five Bellies was a Ponce.
Yeah.
He lived off. Five Bellies lived off of Gascoigne.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. He lived off his. He became his best mate because he knew that he was going to be rich with it.
He could skive off him. Yeah, absolutely. Mark, I'm just finding the show, and I'll put the link in the description for you, mate. All right.
Nice one. Let's bring that up so you know what Rez is talking about. What is it on
BBC Two, Mark? It'll be on catch up on BBC Two.
Yeah. I'm just going to put it in there. Okay, links in the chat, guys.
Oh, big up, Wayne.
Sorry.
I'm feeling better, mate.
Good to see you, Wayne.
He said something in one of his personal appearances the other day, guys, didn't he? That hits him with the bat that he should have got at Man United. And he listed off a load of sort of things that happened under Ferguson. So he said there's no reason that it would have been any different under Ferguson. He would have been self-destructive, and he'd still got into scrapes. Look at Ryan Giggs and things like that. He listed a long list of things that had happened at Man United as well. So he doesn't think he'd have been any different if he'd have gone to Man United.
Absolutely. No,
Right, Scholar got him got his mum a house, didn't he? Whereas Man United wouldn't. Yeah.
And
Guys, I'm going to have to be watching from the outside because I've got to get ready to go and pick my boy up in an hour.
Yeah, I've got to make a move soon as well. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I'm coughing my guts up, so I think we should call it a day. Score predictions quickly then. Rez, what are you going for?
4-1 Spurs.
You Nick Bob's one. You can't say that.
4.5-1.
4.5.
I said 7-0 earlier.
Really?
No, I think 3-0. 3-0. But yeah, 3-0. But if 7-0 happens, it's even better.
Big Al, what are you going for?
I'm going to say the same score that I've said ever since Everton. 1-0, Kane 96th minute.
Good. Hopefully we'll get another 5 then. Al. Bob, are you going for 1? Didn't I hear you change it?
4-1.
No, 4-1.
No, yeah, I did change it for the Palace game. Not Palace. Fucking. I'm still on meds, mate. That's what it was. Man United game. But yeah, 4-1. Yeah, Kane finally getting on the score sheet. He's going through a bit of a drought, isn't he? So Kane to get 3 or 4.
I will go so far as to say I'm 70% certain that Sonny will equal Salah's goal tally this weekend.
Most likely, mate. Yeah.
Sonny will. Nice. Let's hope so. Before we go, Bob, we've got any shows coming up this week or this weekend?
Yeah, the usual Saturday night, mate, in the Wall, 10:45 p.m. Talking about all the Premier League games. Obviously, Spurs, Brighton, Southampton, Arsenal. Looking forward to the FA Cup semi-finals. Talking about who we voted the best pundit on TV. Gazza's documentary, football irritations, and it's turning out to be a Tottenham away special. So we've got all the Tottenham away lads: Iggy, Stel, Mike, Jacob, JP, and Rez. So, and then, as usual, might put out the link towards the end of the show for people to jump on.
Half 10 Saturday.
10:45, mate. 10:45.
If you'd like to meet Bob in the flesh, he'll be signing autographs Saturday morning. For those of you who are around, we're going to Kaufman's coffee shop before the game. Lads are going to be there. It's going to be a big group. We're going to have coffee made by the master, and bread. Various breakfast bits. Everyone's going to be there. Who's going to be there? Do please come and join us. It'll be lovely to see anyone who can make it.
Have you got any game touted in mind, Bob, for your return to the Tottenham Stadium? Yeah, anything this season?
It'll be next season, matey. Yeah. I could try and push it. It's the steps really that's going to be the main issue right now. I'm walking without assistance at the moment, but steps are just taking it out of me right now. So next season. But for me, getting to do a watch along on We Are Tottenham TV, who are the legends, of course, is a great step. But the main thing I want to see is get this channel to 1K before the end of the season. Let's do it, man, because it's such a fucking underrated channel. It needs to be up there. This and the Love Lounge, Murray's Love Lounge, 2 of the most underrated channels out there. And the sooner we can get them to that 1K, magical 1K.
Funnily enough, we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for you, Bobby, because you were the first person whose show I went on. So yeah, we wouldn't. None of the 456 would have ever heard of us had it been for you, mate. So thank you very much for letting me on your show that way back when, probably about a year ago now, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, mate. Yeah.
Coming up to our anniversary. You come up to the anniversary.
Yeah, it is. Yes, coming up. And it's right. So it would probably been around about now that I first went on your channel, Bob. To be honest. Remember waking up and thinking, no, I'm going to go on there. But you put the link out, and I thought I'm going to go actually get out of bed and go on here and have a little.
Yeah. It was good. It was good. Oh, I'm doing something for a year special, year anniversary. Hopefully, it ties in with something else. But We'll see.
Are you going to be eating a hot chip?
Oh, fuck that, mate. I was thinking about it, but after seeing your face, no fucking chance. No fucking chance.
We should promote, do a bit of self promotion ourselves. We've got our new, our second show of the week. We've added Monday mornings. What time are you on, boys? Tottenham
10
Tea
a.m.
and Toast.
Thanks to you.
Tottenham Tea and Toast. How are you? Are you going to be there this week, or am I going to have to find
I've
another
got
sub?
50%.
I'll pass the fitness test for tonight. I'm here. I'll be there for Monday.
You be there Monday?
Late fitness test from Al, so he's fine for Monday.
Do you want to apologise to your Legion of fans for missing last Monday, Alan?
No, I don't give a shit.
Johnny, you know,
I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again. I don't mind. I can meet him again. I don't mind. No, Alan, put your wallet away. I can meet him again. I don't mind. No, Alan, put your wallet away. I can meet him again. I don't mind. I can meet him again. I don't mind. I can meet him again. I don't mind. Meet him again, I don't mind. Put your wallet away. Put your wallet away. Put your wallet away. Put your wallet away. So I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again, I don't mind. So I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again, I don't mind. So I know I've already met Nick, but I can meet him again, I don't mind.
Do you mind meeting him again? Do you mind meeting him again on Monday morning at 10 o'clock, Al? Do you not mind?
There, mate. I'll be there.
He's thinking about it.
he's thinking about it.
Still think about it. See you, everybody.
No, I'll be there Monday.
10
Yeah,
o'clock
I'm with
Monday. Tottenham Tea and Toast on this channel. See ya. Come on,
See
you
ya.
Spurs.
Thank
Come
you.
on, you Spurs.
Pick up the NHS.
And well done, Riz.
Cheers, pal.
You got the NHS.